Welcome to Rheatone, Stories from the City, where the headlines meet the heartbeat. We'll be looking at the news behind the news. These are stories that shape our roads, campuses, forests, and our futures. Let's begin on the tarmac of Kenya's boldest road project, the Expressway. The Nairobi Expressway has become a new symbol of speed and modernity. If you're lucky enough to avoid the toll, you can glide from Lolongo to Westlands in under 25 minutes. For many, it's a sigh of relief in a city built on gridlocks. But beneath this polished concrete marvel lies a story of exclusion. Since toll fees rose to 310 Kenya shillings for a full stretch, many Kenyans have retreated to the old, congested roads. PSV operators complain they can't afford it daily. Meanwhile, bodabodas and non-motorists are completely barred. And now, there will be temporary closures for routine maintenance from the eastern bypass toward the southern bypass. Great for logistics, yes, but at what cost? This is not just a highway, it's a mirror of who moves fast in this country and who doesn't. One Matatu driver told me, "The expressway is for the rich, it just floats above us like we do not exist." That's a hard lane to argue with, if I may argue with. Karura Forest is Nairobi's green sanctuary with joggers, cyclists, and families. But beneath the canopy lie dark whispers that challenge its peaceful image. In March 2025, hikers found the body of Caleb Kirinya, a 28-year-old man, hanging in the bamboo trail off Limuru Road. Police ruled it as suicide, but others question why such tragedies happen at the city's celebrated retreat. These aren't isolated incidents. Over the past decade, at least 5 bodies have been found in or around Karura, with some unclaimed, all unexplained. And recently, a deeper story of torture has surfaced in Kenya. Earlier this June, Albert Ojwang, a 31-year-old social media commentator, was last seen entering Central Police Station in good health, escorted by the police. Sources reveal he was secretly moved to Karura Forest, severely beaten between 9 p.m. and 1 a.m., then returned unconscious and died soon after. IPOA is investigating and senior police officers are under scrutiny, but questions still remain in our fold. Karura is not just a forest, it's a reflection of our city's contradictions, conservation and crime, beauty and brutality, all under the same trees. At the Technical University of Kenya, final year students are full of ideas: clean energy prototypes, water purifiers, local journalism. But brilliance is stuck in a bottleneck. A lecturer strike over unpaid salaries led to a near 3-week shutdown. Classes stopped, labs closed, graduation deadlines evaporated. One frustrated student commented, "They pulled us out of lectures and left us with nowhere to finish our projects. We were banned from entering our hostels." The delays hit hardest to those planning December convocation. For some, the clock is running out on internships, job applications, and graduate opportunities. Add daily frustrations. There is weak Wi-Fi, crowded studios, endless lines at the registry. Yet students persist, testing circuits, editing podcasts, 3D printing parts because innovation demands determination. But how long can it take ask its students to succeed in a system that fails them? Wednesday, July 25 will be a day no one can forget. Back in 2024 and in this year 2025. Across Nairobi, Kisumu and Mombasa, thousands poured into the streets, shouting against rising taxes, corruption, and a government they say has stopped listening. They were mostly youth, unarmed, angry, and tired. But By the end of those 2 days, over 20 people were reported killed, dozens disappeared, some still missing, and hundreds were arrested in unlawful forceful sweeps. Human rights groups shared CCTV clips of abductions by plainclothes officers. Tear gas clouds filled Mathare, Kayole, and Githurai. Even students in town were caught in the chaos. One mother outside city mortuary wept, "My son is not a criminal, he just wanted to protest for a future for his children and for his grandchildren." For many, these weren't just protests, they were cries of desperation. But even more painful than the bullets was the silence that followed. No official apology, no justice, just hashtags and funerals. We often think news is about presidents and protests, but it's also the ordinary. This week, I stepped out with a camera to tell smaller stories. The faces in matatus at 7 a.m., a vendor warming tea in an old crusty kettle, shoes dusty from walking to school, young people taking selfies behind street murals of Lupita. There's dignity in daily life if you stop and see it. And in capturing it, I see myself. A student, a journalist, a Kenyan. Tired, curious, still hopeful. Thank you for listening to Rheatone Stories from the City. These stories are ours to tell and ours to remember. I've been your host, Ruth Mwangi. Until next time, take care of each other and keep looking deeper.